And there we see the Chief Executive Alan Joyce preparing to release the company's financial results. Lots of challenges being faced by this particular airline over the last 12 months. And Alan Joyce is about to speak now. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Qantas Group full-year results are in line with the guidance we provided to the market. We delivered an underlying profit before tax of $95 million, which represents a statutory loss after tax of $244 million. The results reflects three things: a record fuel bill up $645 million to $4.3 billion, 18% higher than the previous year. The cost incurred by the prolonged industrial action, which amounted to $194 million. And the transformation costs of $376 million. Approximately half of these are non-cash, as we continue to address our legacy cost base and turn around the Qantas International business. As previously disclosed, Qantas International made a loss of approximately $450 million based on underlying earnings before interest and tax. However, Qantas Domestic and Jetstar Domestic combined delivered a profit of more than $600 million by the same measure. Clearly, we have been through an exceptional period. Yet over the course of the past year, we've made significant progress in advancing our overall group strategy. We are now coming off a period of high capital expenditure that has given us the youngest fleet since Qantas became a public company in 1995. At that time, we had 135 aircraft. Today, we have 308 aircraft with an average fleet age of 8.3 years. This is a significant milestone. A younger fleet is more efficient, attractive to customers, and internationally competitive. We are now positioned to stay within our target average fleet age of 8 to 10 years, and to do so with lowering ongoing capital expenditure requirements. We will spend $1.9 billion for each of the next 2 years on new aircraft. And as you know, we're looking forward to the arrival of 15 new Boeing 787-8s for Jetstar towards the second half of the next calendar year. As planned, this will enable us to transfer the Airbus A330 aircraft from Jetstar to Qantas Domestic, and the phased retirement of the Qantas Boeing 767 fleet. These aircraft will arrive as planned. However, given lower growth requirements in this uncertain global context, firm commitments for 35 787-9s will be cancelled. 50 787-9 options and purchase rights will be brought forward by 2 years to 2016. Effectively, this reorganisation of the 787 deliveries will constitute a delay of the first 787-9 by 2 years, from 2014 to 2016. This fleet change will result in a reduction of our forward capital expenditure commitments. While the details of the commercial settlement are in confidence, these would be valued at $8.5 billion if we were paying list price for the aircraft. As a consequence of this arrangement, total cash inflows for this restructure will be $433 million, with $355 million payable in this financial year. This will result in a net benefit to underlying and statutory profit before tax of approximately $140 million to be recognised in the first half of this financial year. At the half-year results, I refer to the prospect of being free cash flow positive. We achieved that for the second half of the year just closed at a free cash flow positive of $206 million. And we remain focused on generating positive free cash flows for the full year 2013. We have liquidity with $3.4 billion in cash and $300 million available via an undrawn facility. We now own more of our aircraft outright, having purchased 10 additional aircraft with cash during the financial year. With lower capital requirements and substantial liquidity, we are now turning our attention towards debt reduction to strengthen the Qantas balance sheet. Now let me turn to our strategic performance. Our domestic position is preeminent, and our domestic earnings outperformed the previous year. We have the two most profitable airlines in Australia. We lead the market in both business and leisure with 65% market share. We hold an estimated 84% of the Australian corporate customer base, despite 3 months of industrial action, with double-digit corporate travel revenue growth on last year. We are the major aviation provider to the resource sector through charter and passenger services. And over the course of the past year, it was pleasing to see customers, large customers, who have tried out the competition but returned to us. They came back to Qantas because we are the best for business with our superior network frequency and product. From October this year, we'll be fast-tracking the upgrade of our domestic 767 fleet with fresh interiors, and I have no doubt that customers will be delighted, as they are with our refurbished 747 fleet, where customer satisfaction is even exceeding that on the A380s. 16 of our 22 767s will be upgraded, with the first to be completed this October. Our iPad Q streaming initiative is also being rolled out on all of our domestic 767s. The total capital expenditure...
That's Qantas boss Alan Joyce announcing a loss of $244 million for that airline over the last financial year. He's making that presentation in Sydney. That loss compares to a profit the previous year of $250 million. We'll get more details on that story over the course of the morning on ABC News 24.